Back in the palm.
If they come down and start asking me, saying, sorry, but your inspector's already been here.
Other than the big man. Yeah, it's just some information for you, that's all. The bailiffs have been told not to do anything today. They've been given the instructions that they've got to go back to the court and get an alternative day. Right. And that it should be done in conjunction with the police, and they should write to us. It's more just for your information. They've been told, well, like I say, I can only pass on what they've been told. They've been told not to come down today.
And you're that's fair enough, right?
Right.
And you're obviously aware that quite obviously these guys could think, could be a taxi.
Oh no, it's just to let you know.
We do that.
Have you got an answer to that?
No. That's why I'm saying that's what they've been told.
If they do come today, seeing as they've gone through you to tell us, what will happen to them for that, surely?
Well, I would imagine they've probably still got a power in law, but it would. There's
so
not the police in. Basically,
yeah, it would be using you.
There's not the police in.
It would be highly illegal for you to do that.
Well, the thing is, if they wanted to, what they would need is, because obviously there is a considerable amount of you, they would probably need police assistance.
A lot.
There ain't the police resources to be undertaking anything today. So I can only give you the limited but factual information.
It's a civil matter.
No, just listen to me. Yeah, that's all it is.
No one will.
That's fine.
But what the instructions that the bailiffs have been given is that there is not the police resources today to assist them should they want to undertake anything. So if they wish to undertake anything, they would have to go through the courts to find an alternative date, liaise with the police in order to firm up police assistance should it be required. So from our side of things, we won't be assisting them today.
So if they turn up now anyway, and then we leave and they attempt to go through doors,
the likelihood is they're not going to get anywhere else.
You heard you say we will not be assisting them today, so you're going to be assisting the bailiffs.
It's not a case of them saying if they wanted our assistance today, we've turned around and said categorically we wouldn't have the ability to assist you today because we don't have any resources.
But even if you had the staff, here present to do that, say for instance there was nothing else going on, hypothetically what would the police be doing then?
It would have to be assessed by an inspector.
The inspectors come down here today and said that it's a civil matter.
There's a peaceful protest going on. We're more than happy to facilitate that. That's your right to do that. Okay.
Well, a peaceful gathering.
There's no protesting going on here, mate.
A peaceful gathering. Either way, from the group that's amassed here, there's no issues, and there's no issues from the police perspective.
We're actually witnesses, to be honest. There's never going to be an issue.
No.
For the camera,
This is what we're saying.
For the camera.
Just bear with me one
what
second.
happens if they come?
Right. So you've got plenty of... I'm feeling really popular today, I'm not going to lie. From the police side of things, like I say, I can only give you, unfortunately, I'm a lowly PC, so I can only give you as much information as I've got.
So even if we trust you, it doesn't matter because we're not going to trust them.
I'm not asking you to trust me, I'm not asking you to leave or anything like that, I'm just saying...
I'm not talking about you.
I can only give you factual information. The factual information is that the bailiffs have been instructed by us that if they want any assistance from the police, we will not be able to facilitate any assistance from them today. We can't do that because we don't have the resources to do it. They've been instructed that should they wish to carry out this, the best course of action is to go and get an alternative date. Obviously bearing in mind that they have to instruct your tenant 7 days in advance of any further action. That any police involvement would purely be to oversee the under proceedings and to make sure there wasn't a breach of the peace. That's not to say there will be, it's just to make sure, let me finish for 1 second, just to make sure that there wasn't on both sides, and then obviously we would try and facilitate everything on both sides.
So you won't need to attend, will you, unless there is a breach of the peace? You won't need to come with the bailiffs?
No. The only reason why we've attended today is because we've had a call to say there's a large number of people on the streets. As you're probably well aware, our inspectors have turned up, said, what's going on? Gone, right, no problems, and we've withdrawn. The only reason why we've come back is to try and just let you know what's been said.
I'm trying to make though. They're using you to pass on information to us.
It's not so much that. No, what's happened?
We are passing on police information to you.
It's nothing to do with the bailiffs.
So therefore, they can't come back because you've instructed them not to.
It's not so much. No, we don't hold any. We can't turn around to them and say they can and can't do something. All we can turn around and say is from the police's perspective what we've advised them. They still could come back. However,
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
What did you mean by assist?
Yeah, that's the point I needed clearing. How are you going to facilitate anything for these?
Calm down, don't worry.
Because you said that you were going to come and assist them.
No, I'm saying, should they require assistance? What I mean is to oversee it, to make sure from your perspective and their perspective that there's no breaches of the peace, there's no criminal element. We won't be there turning around, dragging people away and things like that.
Can I just give you a bit of friendly? When you're dealing with people like these, right, we're all well versed in the law. Right, language is really important.
Yeah,
right, we're all aware of what legal is.
A lot of times I'll tend to keep things simple because
it's just when
it's
you're
easy for
talking to
everyone to
people like
understand.
these, it's really important to get it right because all these people can go heck straight on.
What I mean is I'm not trying to.
It's just how it is.
For me, simplicity is always the key when dealing with people because I'm not trying to fox people.
But what you're no, it isn't actually. Actually, words are important.
Words are important.
And you said that you were going to come and assist them.
As you already explained,
how we set up.
As you already explained, and you've hit it on the head. You're dealing with it from a civil matter. The law, in terms of a civil matter, well, we're not here to enforce any law. We're purely here just to explain.
I'm not going to go in any way, shape or form. What I'm saying is, we will set up our stall on information we get from you. So if you say that you're going to assist them, we're going to have to get more people here to stop you from assisting them. Instead, if you just say we're going to come and prevent a breach of the peace,
should there be something in the law?
You did say that you were going to come and assist the bailiffs. You need to stop saying that.
We need to have.
That's not your job.
No. Well, don't take things so literally.
We're in a very serious situation.
You don't see me turning people around here.
This guy's going to lose his house.
I appreciate that, but this is
We're
why.
going to take it literal, aren't we? I'm not having a go, mate.
No, I'm just trying to explain to you.
Your interest should be to protect them from the bailiffs.
Well, thankfully, without sounding like a bit of a coward, I get to sit on the fence on this one because I get to be in the middle. I don't have any vested interest in them. I don't have any vested interest in the bailiffs. All I'm here to do is keep the peace.
Yeah, but they're using it now.
No, but it's not.
Words are important, that's all I'm
But you've said that you're here on factual information and that you have specifically said, and this is what this man's pointed out.
About factual information.
You did. I've got it all on camera, mate. What else I explain? Can I just ask one question and then you can say whatever you want? All it is, and the gentleman on my right pointed out that you specifically said that you was going to facilitate something because the bailiffs have contacted you and you haven't got the resources for these. You said those exact words and I've got them on camera. Now the thing is hypothetically, if you did have the resources, just answer this one question please. Hypothetically, if you did have the resources to counteract these peaceful people here today, what would you be doing as a police officer? If the police did today?
I can't answer that because unfortunately I'm not the one in charge. I can only relay the information.
That's what we need to
How
do.
many times I've heard that?
There ain't no pins or stripes on there, buddy. I don't get paid to make those decisions. I just get paid to relay the information.
Well, your inspector's come and told us that he's not going to engage.
Unfortunately, that's what I get paid to do. I get paid to carry out orders. Slightly different in terms of scale.
No, because I tell you what, the same amount of fascism.
We're talking about a Holocaust and a mass amount of things.
The same amount of fascism is going on in this country. What do you think the austerity is?
Unfortunately, I took a job to undertake the work.
You also took an oath as well to protect the people.
And uphold the law.
But
you don't uphold the law, do you?
I hope so.
That's why I've come and tried to speak to you civilly.
We're not having a go at you, we just understand your frustration. Because you're just getting we need you on our side, you're just giving orders, you're just told what to do.
Like I say, my job is to deal with law and order, and I'm only down here as a messenger, and as the old saying goes, don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah, I totally understand.
To be shooting.
Embezzlement's illegal, innit? Embezzlement's illegal, innit? Right? I tell you what, in Westmont, it's unlawful, right? Yeah. Right, so embezzlement is unlawful, right? Because it's no loss, isn't it? Yeah? So it's no harm, no loss, right? Embezzlement's illegal, right?
I'll be honest with you, you're probably getting into something that's a bit too...
Yeah, but you need to get down to Westminster and arrest all them criminals that are embezzling funds.
I can barely get out of Darwin, let alone out of
It's because of them selling this guy down to banks, right?
Unfortunately,
that's why he's losing his home. You need to be helping us.
We're talking about powers that be. I have bills and people turn up on mine, or if I don't pay them, I can't say much more.
We trust you.
But then we want you to research that information because everything's fraudulent.
Again,
when you take that off, go home, research it. Don't watch Coronation Street.
I'll tell you what, there's many I can't stand Corrie, mate. Don't worry, I'm not watching Coronation Street anytime
soon. Seriously.
If the bailiffs were to attend and attempt to use force against these people in this property, would you assist the people? Would you protect the people?
Well, at the end of the day,
it's up to you.
The law is the law. If someone gets assaulted, we're on the side of an aggrieved, and that works both ways. So if they turn around and they started assaulting you,
but they can't use force as well.
Unless they're wearing one of them costumes.
Don't look at me, unfortunately.
The law also says that they can't use
That's a whole
force.
different debate together. We'll walk by the way.
But they can't use force.
No, it's all joined.
If we're peacefully stood in front of the door, they can't come in.
I'm still a human
I know
being.
you are,
I still
mate.
tend to treat people like human beings.
And I tell you what, mate, outside of that uniform, I'll treat you exactly like I'll treat any of these lot. But while you're wearing that
I can understand your frustration towards the uniform because I can
you.
understand to you what it represents. But
know
like
what
I
it
can say,
represents.
all I can say is that outside of this, I'm still a human being.
It should represent it to you, though, mate, as well.
Now it's called a police force, which tells us it's a policy.
No, it's not force anymore.
Yeah, but you know, like you get your level.
It's a corporate entity.
Near enough. It's still the police service.
You're a level 2, Bobby, right? You trained to level 2.
What, in terms of public order enforcement?
Yeah,
Yes.
right. Well, what really cements what he's just said is, right, that you've got the need to have somebody who's trained to level 1, right? Yeah, because the thing is, the whole point of your
That's
job,
what we said to the inspector.
Initially, when you swore your oath, you swore as a constable to uphold the law and keep the peace, right? The common law and keep the peace, right? Keep the Queen's peace, right? It's not what you're doing. What you're doing is you're running around enforcing acts and statutes, right, that are made by the biggest criminals in society. Wait, I haven't finished.
You can't dispute, and I understand you can't.
You, right, when you're out and about in that costume and in your disco lights, right, with your underbra on, but you are enforcing acts and statutes, right?
Not law.
That are given to us by the biggest criminals in society, that are selling us down the river to the people that are taking this man's house off him, right? And you are going to assist them. Because that's what you said.
And you've got your hands tied.
Right?
You've got your hands
You are
tied.
stuck between a rock and a hard place.
In terms of that, so
Because
I will correct
but
what I said.
What I'm saying is, right, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? Because your job is to uphold the law and keep the peace.
It is.
But you're not allowed to do so because
You've got to uphold statutes.
Your corrupt bosses, right, are telling you that you've got to do stuff like this. Right, and you know, we would love for you to solve murders and burglaries and all that lot.
And catch rapists and pedos.
Unfortunately,
You
like
need
I
to start
said,
doing your jobs, mate. That's what it is.
without trying to sort of
Uphold the law and
pass
keep
the book
peace.
and things, I can only do, I might not understand it from your perspective, but I can only do what I'm told to do.
That's the sad thing, that you're only ever going to do what you're told to do, and you're never going to use your heart or
I
your
hate to put
intuition.
this out there because I'm probably going to upset you more, but I'm going to have to go and get back in the disco. I have other things to do.
I prefer you weren't here, to be honest.
Well, I'll get out your ear.
Will you play your little tune as you're going?
Because you're a human being in a uniform.
At no stage do I ever look to hurt anyone.
Here's a question though. Obviously, most of the time when the warrants are turning up with you, the warrants aren't actually court warrants. They're not officially signed, right? Now, as you know, if you turn up at my door, right, with a warrant, you have to have it signed and you have to show me on the doorstep. It has to be signed, doesn't it?
If I turned up at your door with a warrant, I would make sure mine would be signed by a judge because mine would be a court warrant. I can't turn around and say what they've turned up with because I don't know.
They just pull theirs off the internet. They just pull theirs off the internet. Serious. Marston's on top of
If they
it.
turn up then with this warrant that's not stamped, right? That's not stamped and not signed, right? That is a fraudulent piece of paper. So
And that's why they've probably gone home today.
If you're here to stop a breach of the peace, if their paperwork's not in order, are you going to take time to look at the paperwork, and if it isn't in order,
you gonna
and
arrest
it's not
them for
officially signed like your warrants have to be,
I can't say
are
it'd be
you
me.
Well, Judge, would you then?
In response to your question,
If you was there.
if it was me, I would make sure all the paperwork was in order, and if it wasn't in order, I would turn around and say, I'm not acting upon this because your paperwork's not in order.
So would you then send them away?
Well, if the paperwork wasn't in order, they're not getting in there because it's not a legal document.
Exactly, and we need more police officers like that.
You're agreeing then?
I would probably say the majority of officers that turn up will do the same for you as well. They will
What
check
I'm
the
saying though,
paperwork.
if it's not signed, you are agreeing.
We're dealing with hundreds of these a day, mate, around the country. There's loads.
Well, no, because this does happen.
Unfortunately, we
The
can
thing
only...
is,
I
we're
know, but
talking
I
from
can't answer
experience.
hypothetical questions. I know it might happen, you might
This
see
happens
more
all
than
the
I
time.
do.
This
No,
happens all
I
the
appreciate
time.
you'll probably see it more than I do because I don't deal with it in the same way that you do. But hypothetically, if it was me that turned up, I would check the paperwork. If the paperwork was in order,
If it wasn't signed,
obviously
right, and it
we
was
would
not an
deal with
official court
whatever
document,
between both both parties. But if it wasn't in order, I would be advising
so if it's not an official court document, it's not their heavy paper.
Do you want a judge signs a warrant?
Yeah.
It has to come under common law. If it doesn't come under common law, you can never sign it.
The ones that we deal with.
It's like council tax. It doesn't come under any laws. It's just another.
No, it's a civil issue.
So a judge can't write a warrant out for bailiffs to go in and collect that. Do you get what I'm saying?
They can again without. Yeah.
It's all about.
Like I say, I won't get too far into things because
you'd lose.
Because you've got that many cameras on you, you don't want to know.
Certain areas of the law are a lot better than I do, and I'm not going to argue with it.
The thing is, everything that's going on in this country is a big fraud. It's a big lie, right? And it's coming down. The wheels of the car are falling off. Right, and they're going to leave you guys, right?
To take all the shit.
G4S, mate. G4S is taking your job, and quite soon now. Lincolnshire Police G4S.
Criminals wake up to see what you've been.
And the sick thing is when it all kicks off and everyone gets so frustrated about it, it's you guys that are going to have to deal with it.
Because you're part of a machine.
Or you'll be coming on our side.
Hopefully, if that day ever comes, you'll recognise that I'm not here to do any disservice.
If that day ever comes, I hope to God that you put that uniform down and join us.
Well, again, we'll see what happens. I do like V for Vendetta, by the way.
Yes, there you go.
Anyway, with that, like I say, unfortunately, I'm going to have to sit on the fence on this one.
Get yourself a mask and
I wish
turn
you all
up.
the best. No, and like I say, the only reason why we've come down is just to relay the message that we've been told, just to let you know where things stand with the police side of things. Okay. But all the best and good luck in your room.
Thank you.
Question.